Hello again. This is like 3 days in a row on Facebook Live. I guess I'm just really enjoying these little video meetups with you guys. It's encouraging to hear from you and have a minute to speak with you. I'm in the car again. My mind has been thinking about something that I want to share with you, and I'll get into it in just a moment. I'm going to give Sarai and Debbie and Lindsay and Chelsea a chance to log on, and all of the others. Greetings to you. God bless you, Jessica, Harley, my man, Arthur, Christina from Yakima, Misty from Atlanta, Karen, just been on the network watching some sermons, I guess. I hope you enjoyed them. Lachey, Emma, Layla, Minerva. I'm going to share a devotional thought in a moment, what we might call a bonus teaching. Just a little insight that I had this morning, but I want to wait a moment, give a few people a chance to join in. What's up, Jonathan, Arlene, Sam? Let me know where you're from if you can. I can't say your name from Santa Cruz. If you'll help me with the phonetic pronunciation, I might give it a shot. I don't want to embarrass myself. Colton, or dishonor your beautiful name, from Amplify. Hey, Chad. Congratulations to Chad Cooper. We have an Elevation Church Extension site in Space Coast. That's in Florida. They call it Space Coast. Sounds so intergalactic, doesn't it? And they had record attendance this weekend. I think 400 plus people at that extension site. So it's very exciting. I know that many of you are part of our extended family that watch online, that stay in touch with the ministry. That means a lot to us. We think of you that way as extended family. I hope that's okay. But we kind of claim you in our family. I know there's no substitute for the local church, but hopefully we can be a blessing, encouragement in your life through the music or through the messages, or however we can. We're just happy to be a part of your day. So much love to Tracy and Karen and Erica. And Ivelice. How would you say that name? I like that name. I just don't know how to say it. Listen, I'm so glad you all came on, because I want to give you another thought about altitude. I preached this weekend in part about altitude. Again, our text was from Revelation 4, verse 1. And the Spirit of God, speaking to John, calls out to him on the island of Patmos. Remember that God can give you access even in exile. So that's a good word if you feel lonely, disenfranchised, left out, limited. If you're in a place of lack in your life today, that our God, just ask Moses, just ask Daniel, even ask Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane. He came to his own received him not. Our God is a God of access in exile. He can speak to you. He can show up. He can supply your needs wherever you are, at all times and always, having all that you need, so that you may be able to be generous on every occasion. And God speaks to John, and he calls him up higher. So we talked about 3 things that start with the letter A from Revelation 4, 1 and 2. We talked about attention, and then attention creates access. Let's go deeper into that for a moment. Whatever you're paying attention to right now gives that voice, that idea, access to your heart, your mind, and ultimately your life. This message is going out on Facebook, and anybody who chooses to give it attention can access it. But there's a lot of other things you can access on the very same platform. You could be on Facebook reading about a deadly virus that's in your kid's peanut butter, scaring yourself to death. You could be on Facebook looking at somebody else's life, wishing you were on vacation, wishing you had their job, wishing you had their life, wishing you had their wife. Hello. But attention creates access. So if you want to cut off the access for something in your life, then you have to starve the attention. Don't pay much attention to, for instance, the media. Don't pay too much attention to them. Their whole job is to get your attention. And they do that by making you afraid. So it's amazing sometimes if we just cut off the attention, limit the access, then we lift our altitude. And that's the point I wanted to come to you. I was exercising this morning, and a wonderful person in the gym who leads an exercise class, she came up to me and told me, "Hey, we were just watching your sermon from this weekend." I said, "Oh yeah, how'd I do?" And she said that she was blessed by the sermon, and I thought it was cool because I think they were on exercise bikes. I think it was like a spin class, but I'm not sure about that. But they were listening to the sermon and getting fired up, and I guess I was hollering at them in my message like I do. And she said, yeah, and I shared with them a little bit about altitude and Olympic athletes, because she said the Olympic athletes, of course, they train in Colorado because they want to train at a higher altitude, which is thought by some to increase their performance. And I said, man, that's so good. I said, because God called John up to a higher altitude, and in our lives, God is calling us to a higher altitude because we're in training. Boy, if we were in church right now, I'd have you touch 16 people for the 2016 Summer Olympic Games, and I'd say, I'm in training. Tell your neighbor I'm in training. Somebody type it in the comment box. Tell them I'm in training. I'm in training. Just put it in right now. Tag somebody. That's what we should do. Instead of touch your neighbor, we should say tag your neighbor. Tell them I'm in training. I'm in training. I'm in training. I'm in training. Come on, Colorado Springs. I see you, Alexia. I'm in training. I'm in training. That's why God is speaking to me. That's why I'm in an uncomfortable, unfamiliar place right now. I'm at a higher altitude because I'm in training. I'm in training. Yes, sir. That's right, Karen. You're in training. That's right, Jasmine. You're in training. So you got to look at life like that. But then the conversation that we had, it was interesting. And I just wanted to share it with you because I thought it might minister to you, is that we talked about how the training is at a higher altitude, but the games don't happen at the same altitude that the training does. So now the challenge of the Christian life is to take, as I've said before, what we beheld on the mountain, remember, and build it on the plains of everyday life and even in the valley. You think again of Moses. He was shown the pattern on the mountain, but he had to take the pattern to the people and build the tabernacle. And that's not always easy, is it? Because you get excited, fired up about what God is doing in your life. You have these moments of inspiration. But inspiration without implementation is empty. So I just wanted to let you know today that you may receive some things from God on the mountain, in church, in moments of inspiration like this, that when you go to implement them, you're like, whoa, this is a different altitude. But that's what your training was for. So trust your training. And don't expect that it's always going to be this high, okay? You're not supposed to live by emotions. You are supposed to employ your emotions to serve God's purpose. I just wanted to give you that today because I thought that, you might not be an Olympic athlete, but you're a mom, you're a dad, you've got a business that you're trying to start, maybe you're a college student, doing a job this summer, trying to save up. I don't know if you're trying to pay down debt. We all have different things in our life. We get inspired, then we have to implement them. I wanted to let you know today that your training is going to serve you in the trials of life. And the trials, the games, the trials, that happen in everyday life. That's where you work out what you received on the mountain. So don't judge or measure your spirituality by the amount of emotion that you experience on the mountain. Put it into practice. And between those two altitudes, God is developing a stronger spirit within you, and you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. God, I pray that you would lift these people today to see you as you are, and help us as we walk it out, to do it in the mundane of everyday life, like we saw it on the mountain. Hey, I love you guys. God bless you today. I don't know if I'll see you again on Facebook Live tomorrow. I've been on here the last 3 days. If you didn't catch this week's sermon, go watch it right now if you can. I don't want you to get fired from your job or stop doing your laundry, or I don't want to take you away from anything, but if you got a minute, put it on elevationchurch.org. All of the sermons from the last 2 years are there, and this week's is called An Overview of Your Future, and you'll hear more of this. But I hope that was helpful if you were there, and I hope this is building on what you heard and what you learned. We love you.